Hey, good evening, everyone. Dave Wilson of Results. I'm going to be right with you with a great guest that we have here. Again, I've said it before. I will have my timer. My timer's coming. Everything is new. So as soon as I see this live, because I want to make sure we're linked in, you don't miss anything that we have here, which you probably will anyway. So I do. I'm going to get more professional with this every week, and then I'll look back at this and all my stuff. So there we go.
You're already a professional. I love it. I love what you're doing. Great platform.
All right, everybody, listen. I want to introduce Melanie Williamson, and she is from Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. And I want to talk to her today about is she works for White Jacobs and Associates, and I am going to hand it off to you. And if you can just explain what you do, Melanie.
Well, again, yes, Melanie Williamson. I am from the big DFW area, and we're based in a little town called Plano. It's right outside of Dallas area, but people are going to recognize the Dallas area better than they are Plano, Texas. So
yeah, we're Dallas.
Yes, Plano, Texas. Yes, that's where our office is. So basically, I am a leadership development manager. I work with many aspects of the company, wearing a lot of hats, but we are an attorney-based credit education and credit restoration program. So we help clients get back on their feet after they've had a downturn, with loss of job or gone through something that they got dings on their credit. So we're going to look at their credit and we're going to audit it for accuracy. So that's pretty much the basic overview, the offering credit education and credit restoration for those who qualify.
And I can imagine how busy you are right now. I mean, the way everything's going on, people nervous, and I can only imagine. When we were talking prior, I wanted to ask you, as we were talking, is like, who do you service? If you could just walk me through like your basic clients on who.
Okay. Well, the majority of our clients are referred to us by loan officers. Those individuals are looking for a home. So the biggest piece of our company is working with individuals who are trying to purchase a home, get approved, and increase their scores. For some reason, again, they've come across something that was inaccurate, non-compliant, erroneous, that was prohibiting them from moving forward in that home loan. Otherwise, anybody who has been turned down or just they may have fraudulent information, they may be wanting a promotion for their job. They may be wanting to purchase a boat or a second house, or even business owners want to get a business loan. We've got multiple reasons why individuals may come to us or seek our services for credit restoration.
And my son loves putting up here, hey, everyone, make sure you like the video and say hi to my dad. All right. Hi, Cash. I was wondering, I look at that. So for small business, that's one thing I didn't discuss with you. So that you do offer that service also.
We do. We do. We didn't mention that earlier. Yes, individuals that are just trying to get their first loan, or they have a small company. Right now, the CARES Act and the information that they're providing, that's where we're directing individuals to get that information directly from the SBA and work with those programs that they have available. But beyond that, if they need help with credit, we'll look at their business credit and we'll look at their personal credit. So we've got a multitude of clients that we serve. So it could be just anyone that wants to look at their credit. And we recommend that you look at your credit on a week-to-week basis at this point.
Well, because you were saying that. Why is it important? That's what I want everybody to realize and pay attention to this. Why is it important now weekly versus 6 months from now?
Exactly. And it's changed. Everything that we thought was normal, we were in a new normal. And from this point on, we are going to be looking more at our credit reports, and we're getting floods of people coming in here wanting to look at their credit report and get it assessed with our analysts that we have here. And it's because of the fraudulent activity, the scams, and the information that is being mixed up into people's credit reports, and they're trying to get a pristine and accurate report to take advantage of the interest rates and that are going on with buying homes and autos and different things. So they're trying to see where they are credit wise and fix those inaccuracies on their credit reports.
And that's where we talked about, because like I was telling you, say me and my wife, we go down, we apply for a mortgage loan and something comes up. I told you before about, oh, wow, what do? You go home and Google and, and I didn't know about the company like yourselves. Mm-hmm. So can you walk me through, okay, so I have issues. I contact you. How does it work? Like, what do you do for me?
Okay. Well, again, we will assign you a designated credit analyst that'll walk with you through the entire process. And really getting that credit report, that initial credit report, which is a 3 bureau report, is critical for us to assess. That's our first start. We have to start with an assessment because we really don't know until we see what's under the hood, so to speak, of what's happening with your credit and what your major concerns are. What is it prohibited you from doing? And what is your goal? So we look at that and we look at your timeline. So we look at all of that information and we give you an outcome. And if you are eligible for our program to move forward, that means that you're a good fit. That means that what's on your credit, we can see those things that could be inaccurate. We need to get an exhaustive overview because we are a consumer law attorney based. We're going to have access to all the consumer laws that are in place to protect you and to move that credit report to a pristine status. And that is what you would do if you were approved and wanted to go forward with our credit restoration program. Okay. Let me add that it does take up to 45 to 180 days is the program that we offer. So it's an aggressive, fast-paced program that if you're eligible for, we can definitely move you through that process.
That's where I told you I'd be asking you questions that come to my mind is when you say that, like, and it happens because I've seen it around here where, your house is for sale, something comes up. What could be the turnaround time to fix something like that? So I reach out to you, and is that like a time frame that you would say it could be fixed pretty quickly, or is it all just depends, right? I mean,
You're right. It is depend because you know what? Our credit situations and our credit reports are like our thumbprint, unique to each situation. So we customize a program specifically for you, but no matter what we do, our program is capped at 180 days. So if we see that it's something that you can do on your own, we're going to give you free credit education. We're going to guide you and direct you to helpful resources, and you can go along about your way, continue to develop your credit and move you on that direction. Everybody's not going to qualify or fit our program. So that's why it's good to, if you know anyone of your family, we're going to look at your credit report information and then your circumstances surround it and make an assessment and then give you that information. And you can make your own decision, which is an informed decision. And that's what's the key.
Which that's what I like there when you said before, because and again, some companies aren't like that, because when you said that if you gave me, we could do it ourselves, and the company's honest like that. I mean, for the average person, let's face it. I mean, I told you before, because if I had a problem, I go on Google, and then you get those 10,000 phone calls. Oh yeah, I mean, you don't know, and that's you really serious. The tech. And I wanted to talk to you about, when you went back to that CARES Act, we talked about, and I'm going to say for myself right now, everybody wants to put off payments. Let's just say, I told you about my experience with a small business, and I called the company. We've made, payment arrangements. It's worked out well. If you don't call, that's where you got to be careful, right? You want to make sure that you reach out, and it doesn't matter who, you make that phone call, right?
You make that phone call. That is the key. When you're wanting an accommodation to your current mortgage payment, or you can't pay, you're in under financial duress, and you need some assistance. You cannot sit back and think, oh, there's a CARES Act out there. They can't report me negatively on my credit report. And so I'm just going to miss these payments. And, I've gotten a good excuse. we have got to make that phone call. We've got to reach out to them, and make that accommodation. Set up a plan with them that is doable. And you know what? Keep track of it. Keep the information handy, and make sure that you understand the terms of payback. Because
Right.
when you skip 2 or 3 payments, when is that due? Because it's going to be due at some point. You're going to have to pay it back. And it could be one big chunk if they work it out that way. It could be spread out over a course of, they'll increase your payment and spread them out over a course of time. So you really do want to understand what your payback terms are. So being very aggressive and assertive about what this is really going to look like. So if you really don't need the forbearance,
Right.
look at that really closely. If you really don't need it, there's a lot of people that don't have a choice.
That's what I mean. And I'll tell you what, everyone we reached out to and that we felt that we needed to, it's been not a problem, because I think everybody's like, when I was on the call with the state thing, they're either your best friend or your worst enemy,
Well,
and I'd rather be upfront, honest.
Yes.
Like you said, it's going to come back to, because when I talked to you about it before, is like everything going on right now. You said you want to look at your credit report now. That's important. Check it out now.
Definitely.
Because then in 6 months to a year, that's where you still can see the discrepancies, right? That's what you want to watch.
That's what you want to watch. We're going to watch for monitoring. Now, if you utilize our program and our services and you're fit, you qualify for our program to go on the restoration, and we'll audit all of those derogatory, inaccurate items that are on your credit. And we're going to ultimately get a pristine, cleared up credit report that has accurate, validated information on it. Doing so could get 70 to 90% deletion from this auditing process. So we have those 4 rounds of audits. So when you need that outcome, if you're fit for that, ultimately, when you're going and taking these accommodations and you've worked on your credit and you're got this forbearance and you did make that communication, you did call, and then you look down the line and you're like, oh my gosh, they actually dinged me. They were not supposed to do that. And you've got the documentation that you did do this forbearance, that you did make the phone call, that you did communicate, and you still have that reporting that's inaccurate. We know that the Federal Trade Commission says that 1 in 4 credit reports typically have issues and mistakes on their credit report. So, there's things are going to happen. So we want to make sure to monitor closely. And right now, can I add that annualcreditreport.com through this is allowing you to peek into your credit report weekly versus one time a year.
Wow. So every week.
That's right. Every week you can see what the changes are. You can see if anyone has tried to scam or hack or put anything in there that does not belong. So you can monitor that and see how things are being reported when you've taken those forbearance or deferments, making sure it's aligned with what is supposed to be there, what you understand is to be correct. So when individuals go through our program, they've got a credit analyst that is helping to monitor that and educate them and train them. And not everybody needs education and training. I get that. Some people have one problem that they have tried on their own and they just cannot. They know it's wrong. They know that they've got the accurate information, but they just can't make any headway. We are that extended professional arm to what you can do on your own. So if it's beyond what you can do, wonderful. Let us look at it.
So then I'm going to throw another question that I didn't tell you. So, and that's why I like this, is because it educates me. And, I have people calling me, I told you before, for staffing that are saying, Dave, I didn't receive my unemployment. What can I do? And I tell them to go, no matter what guest or anybody listen, you have to go. Don't listen on the social media, even though we are right. That's a joke. But to get the right information, I don't want to tell anybody because I don't know. So I say, go to CareerLink PA. They will help you. Just like yourself here. They need to go. If somebody was to ask me, you need to go to the source, because if you look on there right now, there's so many different stories. You don't know what to believe.
Yes, you are so right. Go to the source. That's what we do when we make sure that if we can't help you through restoration, maybe you're what you have and what you're facing is something that needs more of a legal counsel, and we may have an attorney that is a consumer law attorney that helps us with the whole auditing process, with the Federal Trade Commission laws, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, Fair Credit Billing Act, HIPAA. We're utilizing all of those laws to help make sure that you've got a pristine credit report. Is it reporting accurately? I mean, do that. What if we've been having information on our credit report that is causing us to have higher interest and get lower rates when we go buy higher rates, house or car, or we've been bypassed by that promotion just because we thought we had a okay credit report.
On that,
take a look at it. Let someone assess it there's no charge. Again, that's part of what we pride ourselves in. We want to be able to help as many people as we can.
All right.
If you are a fit, we'll move forward. And we are the extended arm to those loan officers, to individuals in the mortgage industry, which is the large majority of the referrals that we get. So we are definitely a referral-based company.
Now, do you see, okay, again, here we go again. So I've reached out to you, fixed the problem, you squared away. Does that, when you go back and check your credit report after it's all done, is it noticeable right away, or do you have to, or do you wait, or?
Yeah, so here's what we do. We start out with a credit report, and most credit reports, unless it is, the consumer report compared to a mortgage enhanced report, it's not going to be the same. It's going to be a little bit higher as far as people. So we're going to have to look at, hey, it's going to be 20 to 30 points higher on a consumer report than your actual report when you get a hard pull when you apply for something. So we're going to look at that, and it's still good to judge. So we're going to need to get those updates throughout the program, and it gives us an idea of where you are, what changed, because we can't do blind audits. We've got to see what took place from the first audit that we sent out. Is this accurate? Is this pristine information? So when we get the results from the client, we can look and see what this looks like, and now we'll know what to do on that next audit. And we continue to progressively go forward until at the very end, we'll pull another credit report, which is consumer report. I'm sorry, it will not affect your credit score to get this consumer report. So
that's
it will not.
So because sometimes, like when you check it, right, I was always told, and I get that, that little alert saying, hey, you checked your credit reporting goes down, and it goes all over the place for that.
Not these, not ones that we're doing. They're just consumer reports. They're for the layman. They're for the consumer's eye to monitor. So a lot of the credit monitoring sites offer those, and that's a place where we could drive someone to get one if they needed a credit report. Or again, annualcreditreport.com. It will not have the scores on annualcreditreport.com, but it will give us the information. If we wanted to update throughout the progress, just kind of see what's happening, changes. But when we start out with one credit report with a number and 3 scores, when we finish our program, we'll be able to pull another one to see, okay, based upon these changes, based upon these updates, based upon these inaccuracies, erroneous and non-compliant reporting, now here's the new result.
The result from that. And that's where I understand consumer reports. Look at that. I learned something tonight, because there's, versus Better Business, consumers report. It makes sense now for that. The other question is, what are you seeing right now? Like, I know you said, we talked about how busy you are and how it's probably how you are going to stay. What is I'm going to throw another one. The questions that are coming into you, what are you seeing a lot of on your daily routine of all the calls and questions?
Well, a lot of our analysts are reporting that clients are really wanting to know, rent or buy. Is it time do I capitalize on this time? Do I press forward and work on this credit? Do I talk to my real estate agent and loan officer? And the answer is yes. You want to get informed, fully informed, and look at your options, all your options. Make an informed decision. So that's one of the main questions that we've been getting in regards to taking advantage of the interest rates that are out there right now.
Right now.
And that's right. So that's been the reason I believe we've got a flood of people coming in, and people are at home. People are able to kind of look at their credit situation. They're at a point where, we're cleaning out our garages, and we're,
Right.
spring cleaning, and we're donating so much to the charity that they're like, hey, don't send us anymore. So now's a great time to go look, and what does your credit report say? When is the last time you looked at it? And so clients are literally saying, man, I have not looked at it. And so now, can you help me understand this? Can you help me assess the issues and problems? And we can go one by one and see, they can check to see, this is not mine. So now we can help them with fraud affidavits and different things, or maybe they might need to put a freeze at their bureau so that someone won't file for something in their name. People are getting their stimulus checks, trying to send these emails and bogus things. We've got to be careful from the texts, the emails, all the information that people are trying to utilize to scam us, that there's a cure here, so try this. And, there's this charity for COVID, and, so there are so many scams out there. So one of the main reasons people are really wanting to see what is actually reporting on their credit bureau and how they can fix it.
And how they can fix it. All right. 2 more for you. Easy. They're easy ones. So and again, when I saw you on LinkedIn, and it interested me the way you were talking about it, is because I didn't know. I didn't know about what you do. And I don't think hey, listen, I'm out in the country here in Pennsylvania, I say, and you don't know the organizations that are there for you. So what makes you stand out versus other companies?
Okay. Great question. That's a great question. I thank you for asking that, because we have spent years trying to build a culture and a foundation within this company that speaks to the consumer and the benefits that they would need, putting ourselves in their space, because we are in their space. We are consumers. Right. What is it that we need? And we need a foundation that is accurate, and we need someone that is going to set themselves apart from maybe that stain that's out there in the industry for people that hear credit repair and they're thinking, not them. No. So, we've done a great job of setting ourselves apart by offering clear and transparent information to the client with a 45 to 180 day program, not a membership version of that keeps them going on and on and on. So some of the things that set us apart is just bringing to the table the full picture of where they are, and then allowing them to make an informed decision as far as what they want to do from here. So yes, having that consumer law attorney that is helping us with our back office investigative research team, that is critical to have that on our side to make sure that the clients are getting, the most up-to-date consumer protection that they need to get that pristine credit report and that accurate credit report. So I think we all are owed or due just to be able to have our buying power. And so we're focusing in on what is going to help that consumer get to the next level, get their buying power back as quickly as possible, and then to be educated, to understand, hey, what's going to make my credit plummet? What can I do to build my credit? So we're going to coach, and we're going to, hey, should I get this or that, or should I do this or that? We still get those calls, and it's like years later, and clients are still calling their analysts, and they've built relationships, and they refer. So we're referral based, and they're referring their friends, they're referring their family. We've got tons of testimonials that speak to that we're the consumer's choice, that they're working with us. And you know what? There's a money back provision. Life happens. Things aren't going to work out sometimes. But good thing is we've got that safeguard sets us apart too, that we offer a money back provision if it just doesn't work out for that client and they've made that investment toward getting their credit restored through our program.
Mortgage.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, you're talking that could put so much on hold. I can't even imagine now, take 10 years ago versus now what everything's going on. It just wasn't like that 10, 15 years ago. Now it's just, like you said, that wrong click that one click, that's all it's going to take to hold my house that I have to buy. Especially right now, I can imagine you're going through something. If something's going on right now, how that can stop it.
That's
right?
exactly
I
right.
mean,
That's
if you're in
right.
the middle of a process, that can change just like that. One more is, if you were to say in 30 seconds, what would you say to everybody right now, what we've talked about and summed it up? What's the most important to you and to get that message out to us?
Well, I believe the most important thing is to assess where you are. Some people aren't working, and credit right now might not be the top priority. So
Right,
taking care of your financial and your basic financial needs right now is our priority for you.
right,
But for those who are considering looking into their credit and finding out, is it pristine? Is it accurate? Is it correct? Are there inaccuracies? Monitor it. Make sure you're paying your bills on time if you're able to pay even the minimum just to
right,
keep bills paid. And don't start closing accounts that could affect your credit score. That's neither here nor
right,
there to close them. So just leave them open. We're going to get through this COVID period, and we're going to get through it
right,
strong. There is help on the other side of COVID. So if you had to miss payments and then you find yourself seeing your credit score plummet and you've been watching it grow, don't
right.
dismayed. Reach out to us and we'll be able to, in the end, we're going to walk you through a process of rebuilding that in the most efficient and quickest way possible.
And the quickest. And the website that everybody will see, www.whitejacobs.com. That's your best bet, right? Go on the website, because you told me that it really has all the information on there that
Yes.
that they can
They've
get a
got
hold of.
everything on there. Yeah. They've
All
got
right.
everything on there. They've got information. They can look and see some of the testimonials. They can see our services. They get the whole gamut of what we do and what we are, and what sets us apart and what makes us different. They can call me. My number is on there as well, and they'll get me directly if they have
Okay.
questions at the number listed, the 469-403-8394. They can reach me directly. But if they do click on our connect with us, they just put their name information in there and make sure to put how they found out about this was
Right.
through this show with you. So
Right. Well,
yes.
hopefully, I see Raquel's on here. So hopefully, like, you'll get 10,000 calls that say, hey, we saw it on LinkedIn Live,
I
That's
hope so. Call
that
me. Yes.
and that's the best. And what I tell everybody too is the power of video. I always talk about it, is because after you've met with, like, yourself, and myself, I think people can see you're real. You're a real person. That Google right now, I don't like it. But I'd rather know, like, say, hey, reach out to this company here, reach out to this one. And I keep hearing it all the time anymore, is that referral. It's the same thing in staffing, but it seems to be the really best thing to do, and reach out.
It really is. And at worst case, when you reach out, you'll leave with a pristine credit report or some direction toward getting one. And
Right.
that's what we want for everyone, no matter where
Okay.
you are, no matter what your score is.
All right. And one more, I'm sorry, it's statewide, right? All states, right? You cover.
Well, the majority of states that, yes, we work in majority of states across the
Okay.
United States. There are a few states that we do not work in, but we'll manage that through the website whenever they inquire.
Okay. All right. I want to thank you so much, Melanie. I appreciate it. And I told you we're going to do part 2, because I really feel in a couple of weeks from now, there's going to be more questions. It's going to evolve. And I'd rather just have you back on and just talk about it. And we can pick up where we left off and say, hey, did you check those reports? So
Exactly.
I appreciate your time. I know you're 2 hours behind, right?
One hour.
All right. That's all. I don't even know.
That's okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been awesome.
Stay right there, and I'm going to end it. And here we go, because you never know, right, Raquel?
Right? Raquel.
Just great. I know. There we go. We are ending. I always have